protein shake in a hot minute, you guys. I saw these ones at Costco. I've just been leaning more towards like a bar. I love Built Bars, or just like a yogurt granola, cottage cheese cracker, something like that after a workout. Mostly because we got this, and now I'm gonna pee like a racehorse. But these looked good. So these are the Alani protein shakes, the Munchies flavor. So this is what we've got on here. It's got, honestly, it kind of looks like cheese, but I'm pretty sure it's caramel, pretzel, and cookie. So let's give these a try. I have no idea what this is gonna taste like. To be completely honest, you guys, it doesn't taste like much. It's not bad, it's sweet. It just tastes like milky. Let me move this over, sorry. Yeah, I think I still prefer these ones. These are probably my favorite tasting protein shakes. I do like these, how these ones have 3 grams of fiber in them. The fiber can just help us feel a little bit full. So there's a couple grams in there that can help. These ones have 30 grams of protein. I feel like for me, this is kind of like a snack. Let me back up. I went to Body Pump this morning, so I did some weightlifting, and I just need something to kind of start the day here. I see this is kind of like a little quick snack for me. And then I'll make a more substantial breakfast later. But I feel like 30 is a little, it's not bad. It's just, sometimes I feel like a little more than I need. It's good. It just doesn't, I wouldn't say it tastes like cookies. I wouldn't say it tastes like caramel. I wouldn't say it tastes like pretzel. I don't know. I think I'd stick to these, to be honest. Some of them have like 40, 50 grams, which I think that's excessive. You guys, I'm gonna pee like a racehorse. So this is why I have been leaning towards bars. But anywho, all right, guys, I am going to, like I said, I like to have just a little bit of a snack, because then I will sit down, plan the day, and then once I feel like, okay, I've got a handle on things, then I feel like I can, okay, now I'm ready to make a more substantial breakfast, so we'll get to that in a minute. I freed up a ton of my schedule today, which feels really, really good. My week has been very jam-packed with calls, and honestly, it was giving me a ton of anxiety just how much I had to get done this week. So I really went through it, reevaluated what was necessary, what isn't, and I freed up like honestly half my day today, which feels, like I said, really good. Just canceling unnecessary meetings, looking at my tasks, and being like, what needs to get done, what actually doesn't need to get done. And also having other team members help me with stuff. Don't be busy for the sake of being busy, whether that is in our careers, whether that's in our personal life. Ask yourself, like, even like doing things, like I said, on the weekends or whatever it is, am I doing this because I want to, or because I feel like I should, or just for the sake of being busy? We have such a busyness culture that is just super annoying. So freed up a bunch of time today, and I'm really excited about that, because this is when I feel like I can be my most creative self. I come up with the best ideas. I have the one call, no, I have 2 calls today, 2 meetings. One of the meetings that I have is for the app. So I have we're doing a ton of iteration on new features. So like I need to be my most creative self for that, and being able to think through things, come up with ideas, and we can spend the day together. So I have some margin in the day, so I thought I'd take you with me, and we'll just kind of see where today takes us. There's a couple things I want to get done today to test out for some projects, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to head down to my office, get the day a little bit started, my morning tasks, and we'll see where the day takes us. Let me grab my beverages. Guys, I made the strawberry cheesecake Smoothie in the app, I make it just the same way you do as a smoothie, but in my Ninja Creamy. Yeah, baby. Thick. Best purchase of 2024. Do you ever buy something and you're like, whether it can be anything, and think, this probably isn't gonna work, right? Whether it is a piece of clothing, whether it's something for your home, whether it's decor, a kitchen gadget, but you just do it anyway. Yeah, I did that. So I have a, let me sit down here. This is so sad. I have an idea for a project for the app that is gonna require me to make a ton of videos on a weekly basis. And I'm in the process of figuring out, usually I will rent a studio, but with because that's great, you can just like crank out a ton in a day, but I want them to be a little not at, like, I want to do them on a weekly basis. And just like bringing lights, camera, all that stuff to actually make them like look nice how I want them to a studio every week sounds really daunting. So I was like, I do actually tomorrow have a call with a realtor to potentially talk about getting an office space. We'll see about that, so that I can always have my like kind of set there for these videos that I'm really excited about this idea, guys. Anywho, but I was like, I need something in the interim, or if I can't find a space, because like there's only so much realty in the market, right? And honestly, nothing. There's one. I have an idea for one place. Anyway, I'm gonna stop going down this rabbit hole. You don't always have control over what's available, right? So I was like, let me try this. Like, it looks so bad. I was like, oh, maybe I'll show him in the YouTube video and ask, like, does this look bad? It's so bad. And it just obviously keeps falling. I put this up. And when I ironed it, like it's not good, guys. So we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen and go along our merry way with the day. I got a couple other ideas. Colleen's always got some ideas up her sleeve, so we'll figure it out.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, that was super helpful. I liked it.
I have a question for you on this.
I'd say pretty common.
I think there will be an option of like, I just want this for this week.
That'd be perfect. Okay, so if you have little ones in your life, actually, if you have a life, you don't have to have little ones in your life. I can't remember where I came across the recommendation for this book, but it's fabulous, you guys. So it's called Bodies Are Cool. Shall we read? I'm not going to sit here and read this whole thing to you, but essentially it's promoting body diversity. It's a kid's book, and they talk about different body shapes, sizes, they talk about abilities, they talk about hair, they talk about skin, they just talk about like, I mean, like hairy fingers, wrinkly fingers, like it's down to just so much stuff, innies and outies, and the belly button, and just like normalizing like having hair on legs, stretch marks, like things that kids don't usually get exposed to. Like I just thought this was the coolest book, and I'm like, what if we had this growing up? So then it reminded me of what we had in the late 80s, early 90s. And so I picked this book up. So look at your local library. Like I said, this book is called Bodies Are Cool. I was able to check it out at mine. They had it. You can also request at your libraries or go online and buy it. But it reminded me also of this book. So we're just going to compare and contrast this one compared to this one. Let's just read. Does anyone, let me know in the comments, do you guys remember this book? I loved the Berenstain Bears growing up, but seeing it through a different angle is just, anyway, let's just read a couple of the things that are in here. Maybe it'll just understand why a lot of us have such all or nothing thinking with food. They were chubbier from the side, they were chubbier from the front, and from the back. Well, there's no question about it. Brother and sister are going to have to stop eating all that junk food. You're growing all right. So the kids say, but Mama, we're growing bears and we need those snacks. You're growing all right. The trouble is you're growing from side to side. So then she takes the food, she puts them in the freezer so that they can't have it. So I did like this part of the book where they talk about like showing the body, hey, this is what food does for our body, but we can still do that without demonizing the more what I like to call soul nourishing types of foods, right? So it says, instead of helping build and strengthen our bodies, they just pile up like extra fat. So, okay, you guys know I'm all for teaching both kids and adults how to nourish their body, how to be healthy. But when we have this all or nothing thinking and we demonize foods, it just works in the other direction, and then we tend to want those foods even more. We don't know how to control ourselves around those foods. And so a perfect example is how I would change that is I think it's great that we're talking about how these different types of foods, you know, they help our body. This is what our body, like, it's amazing on the inside. It needs nutrients to support that. But then saying these other types of foods, again, nourish more our soul. They're more for the enjoyment side of things. How do these feel differently? How do they fuel our bodies differently than, you know, something else? How cake that might give us a quick, you know, enjoyment and a boost of energy, but maybe it doesn't stick with us super long, right? Or maybe it doesn't as much help our muscles grow nice and strong like protein would. We can do the nourishment education in another way. Yeah, times they've come a long way. But I actually made a video on Instagram about this, about how like this is how almond moms were made in like by taking in messages like this. But I also have to say it wasn't as big of a thing back then understanding all this stuff. So like if anyone did read this to their kids, or you don't know what you don't know, right? So now explaining this stuff, maybe we can explain things in a different way, also integrate some of this kind of stuff with it. I get asked a lot about what is the best way for me to raise an intuitive eater, and I think that the best thing that you can do is to do the work yourself and to role model this kind of stuff, because that's where they're gonna pick up a lot of those things. No, we can't protect them from every single little thing, but the more that you can show them at home, the more that they will learn those things, right? So what I'll tell people is as they're working through all of the lessons and all the resources that I have in my app, I'll be like, you explain this stuff to your kid as you're thinking about your hunger and fullness, as you're putting meals together, what's going through your mind. And you don't have to be a pro at this to start, you don't have to have it all figured out, but just starting to have these conversations and passing those along to your kids, that kind of train of thought can be super, super duper helpful. Because that's, like I said, they're like little sponges. That's how they learn. How are we feeling before dinner? Or again, how did these different foods make our bodies feel? It's just, I feel like one of the best things that you can do. So, highly recommend this book, and maybe not so much this one. Okay, friends, I gotta go put that room back together and take that sheet down. Why did I think that was gonna look good? I knew it wasn't gonna look good, but that's okay. We'll go take care of that. All right, guys, time to make dinner. And I want to show you my favorite cauliflower hack. So my husband is gonna be in charge of grilling this up. I love grilled roasted cauliflower. We have a Blackstone. He's gonna do it on there. But let me show you the best way to deflower a cauliflower. Okay, so take your cauliflower and you are literally just gonna take the bottom part here and smash it on a counter, okay? And then it's all just gonna kind of fall apart. Okay, are you ready? Let me get a bowl. Okay, so now you can just rip it open, and then look. All of your little florets, all the florets, they just come right off. Look, you guys, how great is this? Now sometimes you might have to, like, if some of the like stemmy part is too long for your liking, you might have to chop that off, but nice little, huh? I am actually making the, I think I might have had this in my last video, the balsamic pear goat cheese chicken flatbreads, except I'm using apple instead of pear. But I'm loving those for the summer. I'm just waving this knife around, but that's what we've got for dinner tonight. Alrighty, guys, this is where we are going to end this video. Thanks for hanging out with me for another day. I feel like this video was a little different. Theodore, what are you doing? Theo? I'm not doing anything. What, Ma? I blamed Theo. I think it was my husband that was being loud. This, I feel like, was a little bit different. It was kind of just a whatever came at us today is what we talked about versus like my more topic-y videos where there's a little bit more structure to them or like full day of eating type thing. So let me know what you think about this video. Do we like it? Do we not? I promise I won't be offended. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so. If you have not yet hit the little bell to be notified when new videos are uploaded, be sure to do so. And if you have not downloaded the No Food Rules Society app, be sure to do so. I'll link that in the description. I agree, Theodore. Theo's got the right mindset. I'm gonna join him, go upstairs, get ready for bed, and read. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Thank you for being here. See you later. Won't you kiss us in